Hey Reddit, my name is Bo Burnham and I wrote and directed the film 8th Grade, which is now in theaters nationwide. Ask me anything. Where do you keep your awards? On the shelf that's strapped to the front of my assistant. What do you think of the MPAA rating 8th Grade R? Are you worried that part of your target audience will miss out on seeing it? It's a bummer, but honestly it's fine. And the target audience, for me, is really anybody who feels weird about living now. I didn't write this movie for kids, I wrote this movie for me. But yeah, it's weird that trying to honestly portray what 13-year-olds are going through means that 13-year-olds can't see it. As if they've never heard the word fuck before. But when I was 13, I was always able to sneak into any R-rated movie I wanted. So go see Mamma Mia 2 Kids. Wink. Can the sequel be called 9th Grade? I want a Lord of the Flies-style 5th grade centering on a boy's laser tag birthday party. How has your opinion of kids, teens changed during the process of making this movie, from before you started writing to after doing research online to working with them in person? Did anything surprise you? I found out what I had hoped, which is that young people are a lot more self-aware and sort of in on the joke of themselves than people think. Like when you're 13, you know that you're a mess, and you're joking around about the fact that you're a mess. A lot of people warned me that working with kids would be impossible, but I really found it to be a total joy. It makes sense that a generation of kids that self-documents is actually pretty comfortable on camera. And kids are ready to act naturally and be themselves if you give them permission to just be and don't freak them out by making them feel like they have to be in a movie. Hope that answers your question. Funniest moment on set? I made a kid do 9 belly flops in the pool scene and then cut it from the film. Sorry. Loved your poetry book. Any advice for aspiring poets? If you're writing poems, you're a poet. No need to aspire. How do you balance work with being a mom? Go lean crunch. Hey Bo. Was there ever a single point in your career that you thought, I've made it as an actor, comedian? Was it before or after you decided to turn down Harvard to pursue your dream? Thanks. Also, Make Happy is still my all-time favorite comedy special. Can't wait to see 8th Grade. You know, that was a problem for me for a long time. Believing that I hadn't made it yet or I wasn't a real comedian. I think it's especially prevalent for people that makes things online. That making YouTube videos isn't real. It took me a long time to realize that I'd been real the whole time, and the thing that I am pursuing was the thing I was pursuing, doing theater in 6th grade. Do you write? You're a writer. Do you act? You're an actor. I'd say don't wait to get some arbitrary version of success or attention for you to believe that you are doing the thing. You really can start enjoying it right away. You don't have to wait to be good. The process of doing it is the process of becoming better, not being good. I am now looking at your question and realizing you never asked for advice. Am I psychotic? Perhaps. Has Mr. Donia responded to you calling him out and/or explained why Elsie wasn't cast in her school play? Yes, I've connected with Mr. Donia and made our peace. I took the calling out of him a little over the edge, probably, he's a good man. And it was right to not cast her to keep her humble. I'm sorry Donia, you didn't ask for this. Can't wait to see the movie Bo, but maybe selfishly I love your stand-up specials and would love to see more. Do you reckon we'll ever see another? Many thanks, smiley face. I hope so. I was having a lot trouble doing stand-up, panic attacks on stage and such, but doing this movie helped my anxiety a lot and I'd love to do something on stage again. I would just need to have something I really want to say up there. Appreciate the support, though. Means a lot. Are you slightly surprised about the overwhelmingly positive reception to the movie? Incredibly. I honestly thought I might be completely fucked. But this is very lovely and insane. Would you ever consider composing a World on Fire PT? 2. Part 2 is actually a real-life performance art installation piece that is playing out on the national political stage as we speak. How's your dog? The best boy that ever lived. Will 8th Grade be shown in rural theaters in the future? Yes, it should be showing this weekend in extremely rural theaters. Hay bales. Good OL boys. Projected onto the sides of barns. What was your favorite scene of the movie and why? I love the scene where she sings karaoke. That one means a lot to me, personally. Pretending to be confident. Not being able to be brave without being scared. Longtime fan. When I was maybe 11, my mom grounded me because she overheard some of the lyrics to New Math, and this past weekend I took her to see 8th grade and she loved it, so we've come full circle. Here's my question. What sort of advice would you give someone who would like to come out of their shell and express themselves creatively, but who also has a lot of trouble choosing an outlet? Thanks for everything, Bo. Greater than we've come full circle. Wait, you figured out how to ground a mom? That's dangerous information. PM me secrets. I'm a big fan of Adventures in the Sin Bin. I put off watching it for the longest time, 'cause I thought it was going to be an American Pie retread, but it ended up being so much more than that. It seems to have been the beginning of a long-lasting working relationship between you and Christopher Storer. Did you guys just really hit it off while working on Sin Bin? How did you come to be cast in it in the first place? Awesome. I tell Chris. I just got cast randomly in that from sending in a tape. But yeah, I met Chris on that and have had a close relationship personally and professionally with him ever since. He's one of my best friends and someone I've relied on creatively for years. I feel very lucky to have met him. Where do you get your sense of humor from? Any specific inspiration? Mostly my family. My family is very funny. Where do you get your pretentious spelling of the word humor? JK. Hey Bo. What Kayla asks he dad at the bonfire is so heartbreaking and you wrote it so beautifully. How did you come up with that dialogue? Where did the inspiration come from? Also, loved the use of Orinoco flow. It worked so well. A lot of that came from my mother and how she's helped me when I'm feeling anxious. Giving context to my life. Not understanding me in the moment but understanding the bigger me across time better than I could. I think that's what good parents can do. Give context for your emotions because they knew you before you could remember. And thanks. Enya is the shit. Hey Bo. As someone who struggles with anxiety, I am curious if you have any advice on how to deal with it. Drink water, exercise. So much of it is physical, not mental, and I found that trying to think my way out of it doesn't work. Just speak it out loud and go for a run. And maybe therapy. I'm working on it too though, I don't have it figured out. But maybe it's not meant to be figured out. Hello Bo. How long did the writing process for 8th grade take, from the original idea to the final draft? Wrote the script in early 2014 pretty quickly. Like the first draft was 2 weeks, which is not how I usually write. But I would return to the script every few months while I was struggling to get the money together to make it, just to update the internet stuff. See, that shit changes so quickly. Hi Bo. Did you get any pushback from the studio when you cast people that actually look like they'd be in 8th grade? Did they want to cast 20-somethings or were they open to the idea of younger actors? The studio was A24 who are incredible and were very on board with the vision of the movie. So they were totally cool with real 13-year-olds. The issue is that child labor laws make it so you can only film 9 hours a day, which the crew loved, but it made it difficult to get everything every day. Simplified the coverage, which I think helped the movie in the long run. I support the laws of children. How do you know exactly what it's like to be a 13-year-old girl? Saw the movie and loved it, congrats. I cried. A lot. The good thing about this generation is they are posting everything about themselves online. So if there's any truth in the movie, it's authored by actual kids living it. I wanted to make a movie about being young that wasn't nostalgic and wasn't a memory. So I had to just humble myself and do my research and try to walk 8th grade with her for the first time. And also the truth is really provided moment to moment by Elsie. My job was just to support her and create a safe environment where she could be free and expressive. How did you decide on Enya's Orinoco flow to play while Kayla scrolls on her phone? It is one of my favorite uses of the song in a movie, the other being in David Fincher's The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. Thanks. I knew the sequence of her surfing the web was going to be very important. And I wanted to show a kid online in a way that didn't feel like the sort of cheesy, 80s, hacking sequences that I normally see in movies. To show being online as something deeper and more emotional and almost spiritual. And Enya just has that sound. Her music sounds warm and human and alien and electronic and acoustic and just deep and weird and beautiful. I had to write a letter to her to get her to sign off on using the song. And I assumed I would have to attach a letter to a salmon and put it in the Euphrates. She is a true mystery. Have you considered writing a Broadway musical? I would love to. It's a giant, scary, multi-year endeavor, but I would love to at some point. I would need a co-composer, orchestrator though, because my musical knowledge is very limited. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe and click the bell icon so you don't miss more awesome videos.